Our next speaker is Carmen Sánchez. Carmen is the Strategic and Scientific Project Manager of the European initiative T2EVOLVE, and the beauty of her position is that she's in charge of bringing synergies and facilitate communication and clarity between the consortium partners and the working packages. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, everyone, for joining the session today. So I believe you already heard about T2EVOLVE a few times during the sessions, and probably you passed by our booth in the foyer, and you had a look at the posters hanging in the poster hall here in the foyer too. So my task today will be to provide you with an overview of the T2EVOLVE activities and major goals, and also how to get involved in T2EVOLVE. So T2EVOLVE is an European project founded by the Innovative Medicine Initiative and supported by the European Communion as well as the EFPIA, with the aim of accelerating development and improving access to CAR and TCR engineered T-cell therapy in Europe. And why that? We, at T2EVOLVE, we would like to address the current barriers that at the moment are blocking the translation, the clinical translation of early stage products and blocking the clinical researchers. So how we want to do that? The way we wanna achieve our goal is to bring together all the key stakeholders in the field. And essentially, T2EVOLVE is basically a consortium of 29 different partners. Oh, I can see that, okay. 29 different partners captained by University Clinic of Würzburg with Professor Michael Hudecek and Servier with Hélène Negret, and with BioSci Consulting, Scott Wagers and Sapna Set, in charge of the stakeholder community engagement. In our consortium, we have all the stakeholders in the field, like the patient community, academia, healthcare providers, SME, biopharma, regulators, name one, we have all of them. And together with them, we define the key action areas of the T2EVOLVE consortium and shape them in 8 different work packages that are mainly working on the strategic topics and the key barriers of the clinical translation, including patient information, preclinical methods, analytical methods in manufacturing, immunomonitoring, optimization of the lymphodepletion regimen, and the regulatory framework with a continuous dialogue with the EMA, ITF, and regulatory bodies, with the final goal to improve the patient journey. In the last few months, our focus is shaped in a more concrete action plan for the 2023, and we would like to develop a T2EVOLVE toolbox to accelerate the early phase clinical trials, addressing major key points like the clinical study design with a choice of endpoints, proposing standards for the release of the drug products, improving the informed consent form, harmonization of in vivo follow-up. We already spoke about that during the previous talks, mandatory preclinical model studies, and harmonization of the immunomonitoring time points. Now, looking at the concrete examples of our activities, I would like to highlight the European Survey on CAR T-cell analytical methods from apheresis to post-infusion immunomonitoring. The survey was developed by Work Package 5, captained by Hélène Negret and Concetta Quintarelli. And the aim of the survey was to describe the current practices across Europe, identify the needs and gaps for a better comparability of clinical trials, and propose a list of analytical methods to be standardized in priority. On the right-hand side of the slide, you can see an example of the results that we achieved, and the largest variability that we found out, for example, with the assays performed on the apheresis and the frequency of immunomonitoring. And already working groups actively are actively working on addressing those variability and developing a proposal from T2EVOLVE. Another example of the work package 5 in charge of developing standards in CAR-T manufacturing and immunomonitoring is the standardization of flow cytometry panel for the CAR-T product release and immunomonitoring. The group has been working actively on the selection of key markers, the choice of fluorochromes, protocols on red cell lysis, staining procedure, and gating strategy. And they started a big wet lab campaign to evaluate the panels across the T2EVOLVE consortium partners with the sample sharing and individual experiments to test and compare the results, with the final goal to disseminate on the panel to the community. Yeah. Another great example of what we would like to achieve, and what we already achieved actually, is the launch of the Patient Hub on the T2EVOLVE website. If you want to have a look, go on our T2EVOLVE website, and you will find a Patient Hub that it's a collection of educational material for patients. The Hub is a live project, so meaning that this can be absolutely expanded, and we are open to have any kind of suggestion. One thing that I would like to highlight is that the collection includes material in 7 different languages, and that was selected thanks also to the help of major patient associations and our working group, patient and caregivers, including patients and caregivers that are today also here. Thank you for your feedback and your effort here. However, we would like also to invite other patients and other caregivers to join our working group, patient and caregivers, because their feedback is vital to improve our Patient Hub, and not only that. In fact, another, and probably the major highlight for the year 2023 is the fact that we launched a patient survey on CAR T-cell therapy. The survey has been an amazing journey, its development. It's been an amazing journey, thanks again to the patient associations and the patients and the caregivers involved in T2EVOLVE. The survey is dedicated to European adult patients who received CAR T-cell therapy for hematologic malignancy. And the survey aim is to understand the patient experience with CAR T-cell therapy. And we want to evaluate the impact of this treatment on the quality of life in particular, and identify unmet needs and gaps of the process of the patient journey. The survey is available online in 7 languages. Please go on our website, you will find all the information. And most important, you will also find a printable PDF available, so that if you are a physician or a person that is in contact with patients, you can download and print all the information on how to access the survey. Please go ahead and do that, because we really need you now to share this great outcome, this great effort. Now, if you want to get involved, that's very important, because, of course, given the goals, the broad goals that we have in our consortium, we cannot be alone. And we really want to hear from the key experts in the field to address the real needs. So I would like to invite you to join the T2EVOLVE stakeholder community. That's the very first step to get in contact with us and to understand your interests and how you can bring your value into the T2EVOLVE consortium and have an impact on our journey. And you can have the possibility, joining the stakeholder community, to share your perspective, to interact with T2EVOLVE partners and community members, and to collaborate T2EVOLVE partners. We develop together with BioSci Consulting different formats that will allow you really an exchange, one-on-one exchange or an exchange with the community and T2EVOLVE partners. And with that, I would like to thank you for participating today.
Do we have questions from the audience?
I actually have one. Thank you, Carmen. That was great. So we're in the middle of T2EVOLVE, and we're starting to understand also the value of all the work. What is, in your opinion, the advantage, the role of two scientific societies such as EHA and EBNT in an effort like this?
Oh, it's critical, it's key, right? So we need to have such organization on board because we are working towards the same goal. So it would be really illogical to be working in silos. In fact, T2EVOLVE, it's not only working actively with EHA and EBMT on harmonizing and trying to really overcome the limitations and the current barriers for the clinical translation, but we are also really looking into other consortia, like, for example, IMSAVAR or APAT, T-Cell Fitness, and also international consortia that are aiming towards the same goals, like Biocan, RAX. That's absolutely key. For an effort like that. We cannot work in silos. We need to be working together. That's a team effort.
Thank you very much, Carmen.
Sure.
May I ask? May I make
Very short, please. Yes?
My name is Hans Vrielink. I'm president of the WAA, World Apheresis Association. I think that apheresis is one of the subjects to deliver your quality, high-quality products. Otherwise, you can't make a new product, or you can't achieve a quality product. And we have also a registry within the Apheresis Association for the complications and the numbers of CAR-T collections, CD3 collections. And we would love to work together with this organization.
Thank you very much. So please join the stakeholder community, first of all. But we can get in touch right now so that we can try to find a way to collaborate. But that's perfect. That's absolutely one of our goals. So let's harmonize together.
Sometimes magic happens. Thank you, Carmen. And I'm delighted.